Hello, West Jordan Middle School students. This is Mrs. Proctor with your quarterly review of the West Jordan Middle School values and the expectations for the classroom and for the school. Let's begin with how to be a good citizen. In school, you receive a grade not just for your academic work, but you also receive a grade for your behavior. That behavior grade is called your citizenship grade. So it's important that we know what it means to be a good citizen within a school and classroom community. It includes things like being prepared, treating your classmates with kindness, participating in class discussions, doing your very best, even if it's hard, as long as you try, asking questions when you don't understand, and showing respect to the teachers. To help guide you in how to be a good citizen, West Jordan Middle School has come up with 3 values to focus on. The West Jordan Middle School values are respect, responsible, and safe. Let's look at each one of these individually. The first one is respect. A lot of times students struggle with respect because they don't know what respect really means and what it looks like. Having respect means to show consideration and value to people, property, the environment, and yourself. It also means to treat others well, even if they look, act, or believe differently than you do. And showing respect is caring how your words and actions may impact others. What does it really look like within a classroom? In the classroom, you can show respect by focusing on your tone of voice when you speak. Don't shout. Make sure you speak at a normal volume. And keep anger out of your voice. Keep anger, sarcasm, and attitude all out of your voice when you're speaking to the teacher and especially when you're speaking with your peers. Pay attention to the ways that you're speaking. You can show respect in the classroom by talking to the teacher as an adult instead of talking to them the same way that you would talk with your friends. Make sure you don't swear. Make sure you use kind words. Even if you swear at home or outside of the classroom, please remember that we want to make sure that our classroom is safe and respectful, so we shouldn't be using profanity and swear words in the classroom. You can show respect in the classroom by being clean and cleaning up after yourself. One of the rules is no food or gum in the classrooms, and you can respect the classroom and respect the teacher by following that rule. Please make sure that you clean up your own messes to show respect in the classroom. You can show respect in the classroom by following directions. Listen and follow directions from any adult in the room. And follow directions the first time they're given. Follow directions without arguing. You're always welcome to ask questions whenever you have a question about a direction that you've been given, but make sure that you ask those questions at the appropriate time. Don't be confrontational. Follow the direction and then politely ask, "Can we talk about this later?" That would show respect in the classroom and follow directions. Last one, respect materials. Use the materials and supplies how you should. If you're supposed to be taking notes with a piece of paper, don't rip it up. Don't fold it into a paper airplane. Use it responsibly and show respect for that material. Don't be wasteful or cause damage to property. You are allowed to use the calculators within the classroom and they cost a lot of money. So we need to make sure that we show respect for those materials. Make sure you do your calculator inspections and make sure that you're not causing any vandalism or other damage. Let's move on to responsible. What is responsibility? Being responsible means you are dependable and you do your part as a member of the school, class, or group. We're all part of the same school community and the same class community. Being responsible means that no matter if you're working with a class or a group, that you're doing your part and that people can depend on you. Being responsible means that you follow the school rules, the class rules, and you do your very best to meet all of those expectations. Being responsible is also showing up to class on time with your materials ready to learn. In the classroom, we can continue to show responsibility by being on time. When we say be on time, that means that you're ready to begin class when the bell rings. That means you're in your seat, that you already have all of your materials, that you're quiet and ready to learn. Specifically, in our classroom, that means you've already collected the supplies that you need for the day, you've collected your folder, you've collected your calculator, and you're already in the seat when that bell rings. You can show responsibility in the classroom by being prepared. That means you come to class with all the necessary materials. That means you come to class with a pencil. Please make sure you bring your pencils or your pens so that you're ready and prepared. That shows responsibility. You can also show responsibility by charging your Chromebook. We use Chromebooks regularly, so it's important that you have it charged and ready to go whenever we decide to use them. You can show responsibility in the classroom by being on task. Do the task that you're supposed to do, no matter what it is. Maybe that's listening, maybe it's taking notes, maybe it's talking with your groups. Whatever that task might be, you can be responsible by doing the task that you're supposed to be doing. You can show responsibility in the classroom by doing your assignments. Do your assigned work on time. That means if I assign homework, that means that you're going to do the homework at home. It means if I assign you to work with your groups on a certain set of problems, then you're going to work on a certain set of problems with your groups. It also means that even if you do need more time, because that is going to happen, that sometimes we just have busy lives outside of school, it means if that you do need extra time or extra help, that you ask for that extra time and extra help. Asking for help and asking for extra time is showing responsibility. And the last way we can show responsibility in the classroom is by keeping our tech in check. That means we keep our phones, headphones, and all other personal devices put away. But it also means that our Chromebooks are used appropriately. Let's talk more about that on the following slides. Keeping your tech in check means if we're on our Chromebooks and I ask you to go to a certain website, that you stay on that correct website for class. Don't switch between tabs. Don't sneak over to the other tab to play your game or to message your friends. Make sure that you are on the correct website for class. It means that your earbuds and headphones are put away. You shouldn't have your earbuds and headphones in your ears. Keeping your tech in check means that your phone is on silent and put away during class. And keeping your tech in check means if you are caught using your personal devices, like your phone or your earbuds, and your teacher asks you to put them away or to give them to the teacher, you don't argue. You just give them to the teacher. That leads very nicely into the Jordan School District cell phone policy. I won't read through this word for word, but I'll summarize the important pieces. This policy is for students. It's for student use of electronic devices like cell phones, smartwatches, and earbuds. It is not permitted at all during class time. There are going to be some exceptions, but those exceptions have to go through a lengthy approval process that starts with the principal and then has to go to different levels at the district office. So as a teacher, I can't give you an exception. It's important that we follow this policy because all offenses have serious consequences. The first time we catch you with your personal device, then it's going to be taken away and stored in the main office, and you will get to pick it up at the end of the school day. But the second time it happens, then it's taken away and a parent or a guardian has to pick it up. We can implement additional consequences as necessary, but hopefully we don't need to. Just make sure you keep your devices put away during all of class time. Let's talk about Chromebook expectations. The most important one is charge your Chromebooks. We don't use them every day, but we use them often enough that it's important that when I say get out your Chromebooks, that it's already ready to go and we don't have to waste time hunting down chargers and trying to figure out how we can be ready to learn. So please make sure you charge your Chromebooks. If you don't have your Chromebook charged, then make sure you bring your charging cord with you. So if we do need to make those arrangements, then at least you're prepared with your Chromebook charger. Keep your Chromebooks put away unless you are told that you need them for the day. Each class will have different expectations when it comes to Chromebooks. That is just my expectation. Unless I tell you that we need it, you can just plan on it being put away. When we are using the Chromebooks, do not visit any page that you're not told to visit. And rule of thumb is if you can access it from the home page of Canvas, the math homepage, then it's generally okay. You'll remember I have some different fun links like GeoGebra and algebra tiles and pattern blocks. You're still welcome to access those if there's free time or any extra time at the end of a test. Let's move on to safety. What is safety? Being safe means that you do your part to keep yourself and others out of harm's way. It means that you keep your hands, feet, and other objects to yourself. And being safe also means that you use safe language when talking to others. Sometimes we focus a lot on physical safety and we forget that the emotional safety and the mental safety of others is just as important. So what does it look like to be safe in the classroom? It begins with physical safety, keeping your hands, feet, and other objects to yourself. But it also includes emotional safety. You can be safe in the classroom by solving problems calmly and remembering that your words matter and can have an impact on others' mental health. You can be safe in the classroom by sitting flat in your chairs. That means no tipping. It also means that you're going to walk, not run, wherever you need to go. It also means that you're not going to chase others. Being safe in the classroom does include being kind, and being kind is also part of being respectful. But when we're kind and safe in the classroom, that means we're not going to use profane language. We're not going to swear. But it also means that racist, discriminatory, and sexual language is not going to be tolerated. It is unacceptable. So we need to make sure that we're practicing, again, that kind language, remembering that our words matter and can have an impact on the health and safety of somebody else. Last one, do not throw things. Don't throw things at all. Just walk over to the trash can. Or if you're trying to be nice and give a pencil to a friend, just stand up and walk over to them instead of trying to throw it across the room. Let's move on from the West Jordan Middle School values to different classroom expectations. What should you bring to class? Every single day, I want you prepared with your own pencil or pen. If you do need to borrow a pencil or a pen, because sometimes that is going to happen, please make sure you ask for it at the beginning of class while I am taking attendance. You should also bring a charged Chromebook to class. Again, notice that I said charged. We want your Chromebooks, but it's only going to be helpful if it's charged and ready to go. If I assign homework or some sort of an assignment, make sure that it's completed. Bring that with you as well. And the last one is just optional extra things that are going to be helpful if you have them. If you have colored pencils or highlighters, it's great to bring them. We might use them. You'll probably also want to remember a folder so that when I say take this home, you have homework, then you can put it in a folder and keep it nice and safe until you get home to work on it. When we enter the classroom, in order to be prepared, which is part of being responsible, there are certain things that you need to collect as you enter the classroom. The first thing is collect the card from the teacher when you walk in. That's going to tell you where you sit for the day. After you collect the card and you know where you need to sit for the day, make sure that you collect any papers that are on the cabinet by the door. Once you've collected your papers, move on and collect your assigned calculator. And lastly, you'll continue walking to the shelf where you can collect your math folder. Having all of these things at your desk at the beginning of class when the bell rings shows preparedness and responsibility. The next thing I want to talk about is what to do when you're absent. It is difficult as a teacher to keep track of everybody who's absent and when they're absent and what they need to do to make up the work. So I've created a great system so that you can take care of all of the work that you missed when you're absent. Instead of coming in and asking, what did we do when I was gone? I have a system. This is what you should do instead. First, check the calendar in Canvas to see what you missed. I keep that calendar updated every single day, and it includes our objective, our I can statements, it includes the lesson videos, it includes the handouts. The calendar is very detailed and has a lot of information. It will even contain information about what homework was assigned, if any homework was assigned. So the first thing that you need to do when you're absent is check the calendar in Canvas to see what you missed. Sometimes there will be an activity that you can complete online. So make sure you can complete that online. Other times, you will find access or links to a video. If you ever find a link to a video, watch that video. I have recorded videos of all of the lessons in previous years. So you can watch the lesson, you can watch me teaching that same lesson to a different group of students, the same as if you were actually sitting in the classroom. So if you're absent, check the calendar, find out what lesson you missed, and watch that lesson video. While you're watching the video, take notes along with us. You can do this in a couple of different ways. If you have access to a printer at home, then you can print a copy of the lesson at home and just take notes on that printed copy. Not everybody has access to a printer, so if not, you can also just take notes on a blank sheet of paper. And the final option, you can always come back to the class when you're feeling well, when you're back from your absence, and collect a copy from the basket in the classroom. When you're watching the video, again, make sure that you're taking those notes, and you can find all of that in Canvas, as well as linked in the Canvas calendar. Sometimes there is not going to be a video link. So on the times when there is not a video link, make sure you access the class notes that you can find in Canvas. The class notes are the exact same things that I write down with the current year students. So you can always access those notes that we took in class and copy those down in case there is not a lesson video. The key thing to remember is that when you are absent, you are responsible for that learning. So be a responsible West Jordan Middle School student and make sure that you stay caught up even if you're absent. Cleanup and dismissal procedures is our last slide, the last expectation that we need to cover. Please remember that I will always give you enough time to put your materials away so that you will be ready to go when the bell rings. So please, don't start moving around and putting things away until I give you directions to do so. Once I've given you directions to do so, cleaning up includes straightening your desks, pushing in your chairs, and if the toolboxes were used, closing and returning the toolboxes to the desks. It also means I want you to do a desk inspection. Check to see if you have placed anything inside of the desk that you have forgotten about. Make sure that you take everything with you. Don't leave any papers in that desk. They're probably not going to be there when you come looking for it the next time. You also need to return all of the teacher's supplies, like calculators, pencils that were borrowed, markers that may have been used. Make sure that part of your cleanup procedure is returning all of the borrowed teacher's supplies. The next thing, if you have time, find something that's out of place. If you can find at least one thing that doesn't belong, I may let you line up at the door as a reward. So look for a scrap of paper that can be thrown away. Look for a piece of paper that someone else shoved into a desk. Find a pencil that someone left behind that you can return to me. Find something that doesn't belong, and there might be a reward for you. And then finally, wait until the teacher dismisses you. I will always dismiss you when the bell rings as long as all of those other expectations have taken place. So if you've already pushed in your chairs and the room is picked up and the toolboxes are put away and all of the calculators have been returned, then I will always let you go right on time. I will never make you late to your next class. So please make sure you follow those dismissal routines. That's it for your quarterly review of the expectations and values. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for taking the time to review these expectations. If we can all remember to be responsible, respectful, and safe, then I guarantee we're going to have a great learning experience in class. Please remember, I love you, I care about you, and have courage to conquer.